Hey, guess what, everyone? I lost power for a split second, and it kicked everything off. What I've been trying to do the past 30 minutes is try to get the previous last stream to end. So, but sadly, you guys are going to have like 30 minutes of just dead silence or like just a little loading circle kind of thing. So, I am sorry. Let me try to figure out where I left off at here in my notes. I know I didn't have much left, but I still wanted to give you everything. Um, but yeah, okay, I know where I was at. But yeah, when it comes to participating in God's process and everything, it is our responsibility to act on it. When it comes to our work, our that saying our works are determined by our faith is completely nonsense. But our works are a byproduct of our faith in God, meaning that say there was a need in the church that someone needs some clothes. They were down or luck, they need some new clothes, and you were one of the five people who jumped up the opportunity to serve them, not because you had to, but because you wanted to, because you saw it as an opportunity to serve the church, to serve the community, and to serve God as well. And that's kind of the issue that we have here in some churches, at least, that especially in the urban areas. The writer tells a story of a large church in one of the major cities. It's stationed in a downtown area, and the downtown area is known for the homeless, the druggies, this and that, like everything bad and imaginable. It's there. And there came a time in this church's life where it was capable of purchasing the building next to it. And the pastor there wanted to turn that building into community center. Well, he had to go to the board and everything. And the board members were a little apprehensive at first because they saw where that money could be used elsewhere, and to be like, well, do we really want to keep feeding these people or help them out in the emergencies and everything? And this and that. Like basically Grandma's like, that just requires us to step outside our comfort zone and do more work. But yet he asked a very good question. He presented this to the board. Hold on, let me find it here uh in my notes here. Give me a sec here. Um, Darn it, where'd it go? Oh, it was a good line. Even as a pastor, I was like, I'm going to write that one down, but apparently I didn't write it down. Um, oh, I'm getting closer. I found part of it. Okay. Basically, he presented this to the board saying, God is going to love this city. The only question is, will God love this city through us? And that is what we as a church need to be thinking about. Is God going to love this city, love this town, love this family through us? And some people's like, no, that requires work of me. I don't want to do that. But yet, don't you believe in God and everything that He did for you? Well, yeah, but nothing. Because there is at one point in in your life where you were downtrodden and someone showed you kindness. Someone showed you the grace, the peace, and mercy of God's love. No matter what your history is, it was shown to you. God's love was shown through someone, and you chose to act on it and receive that said love, receive that grace, receive that peace and mercy that God gives out willingly and freely. That is what Christ preached on. That is what Christ ministered to. He ministered to the oppressed. He ministered to the poor. He ministered to the downtrodden, whether they're rich or poor, knowing that there was a better way of living. And eventually, the board did decide to purchase this building, and they turned it into a community center, and that community center is still serving to this day. It helps people who are in emergencies. It helps the homeless. It either feeds them or clothes them, or helps them gather the resources they need to get off the streets. Not because they had to, but because they wanted to. They wanted to show the grace and peace and mercy through God. Because it's not always about the people who it's like, well, I work 40 hours a week and yada yada yada, and they can go out there and get a job and yada yada. That's not always the case. With some of the systems that are in play today, it really inhibits people to make ahead in life. It's like single moms who might have 2 or 3 kids. Um they're in governmental housing. If they make over an X amount of dollars, then they lose all their benefits that are help them try to get ahead in life. It's kind of like a sort of shackle that is on them to keep them in place. And then some people pipe out, well, she shouldn't have had kids. Shouldn't have had kids to get ahead in life and everything. But it's life. We're not all perfect. To the people who put on this persona that they're perfect, they done no wrong, and yada yada yada, is like, I'm willing to bet you money. I'm willing to bet you a fortune that there are some skeletons in your closet. If the power goes off one more time, everyone, I'm going to be upset because I finally just got this figured out. Anyways, um, but God helps those who help themselves. God provides a way, but it is our responsibility. It is our opportunity to seize it. That is what the truth of the matter is. The willing to participate in the life, in the world, in the creation that God has given us, to participate in redeeming His creation, meaning both the world and us at the same time. We cannot sit idly by and watch the world go by and expect God to magically grant us into the kingdom of heaven just because He loves us. But if the relationship that we have with Him is very one-sided, is that ever a relationship to begin with? Because it's in relationships, it's not 50-50, but it's 100 to 100. God 100% gave Himself to us, so we in turn ought to give 100% of us to Him. Um, it just can't be like, well, God take care of it. I can just kick back, relax, and drink mojitos on the beach. That that that's just not the case. So God helps those who help themselves is half truth, half falsehood. It's not the Bible doesn't preach on pull yourself up by the bootstraps and get to work. That's not the case, but it's actually a community event of helping one another, of helping build something, build a community that is inspiring to the world itself. That's what the people of Israel were meant to be in itself, a world that was going to a group of people that was going to bless the world to show God's grace, peace, mercy, and love. It's not about power, but it's about living in a community with one another. So to conclude, never miss an opportunity to serve God. Never miss an opportunity to seize the moment to live out God's love, grace, peace, and mercy to an individual who might be down or luck, who might be struggling to pay rent, who might be struggling to put food on the table, who are desperately trying to make ends meet. There are going to be those few knuckleheads out there who just want free handouts, but there are people out there, plenty of people, who are desperately trying to make a difference in their life. So again, my friends, sorry for the technical difficulties. Sorry for me being so late today. I don't know what happened. And I probably what I'm going to do next week is push back our time together to 6 p.m. on Wednesdays. And I will make that announcement in church as well. So, but in the meantime, take care, everyone, and hopefully everyone stays safe throughout this thunderstorm that we're having. God bless.